Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Karina.
I'm Allison.
And we are the Loves.
Yes.
So if you guys are just tuning in, you guys may not have seen our last video, which is going to be our 2022 yearly recap. Make sure you go ahead and watch that video so you can catch up to where we've been this last year since we haven't been active on YouTube.
We didn't record everything, for one, and two, there was so much that we couldn't add just because we wanted to respect the people that were in the videos that we had.
We just want to respect everyone's privacy, of course. So today is January 1st of 2023. Happy New Year, everyone. We're so excited for the new blessings that are going to come along this way. And we are so excited for the blessings that are going along your way as well.
Today's video is going to be how we got pregnant.
Dun, dun, dun. This is the main question that everybody asks us, and not just asks us, but also we know a lot of people are shy to ask this question because they feel like we could be offended by it. But we are here to share as much detail of what we did, what we were doing prior to getting pregnant, how we got pregnant, and any of the in-betweens, so you guys or anybody you know can have this information to hopefully start your own little family.
And our personal experiences too, because behind the whole how we got pregnant, because we were new to it, right? The first time, we actually tried twice, so still the same route, but little different minor changes that we made from the first try to the second try. Obviously, we are same-sex marriage, two females, and the main question is how we got pregnant. The way that we chose, that we felt was right for us and what we were comfortable with and how we wanted to proceed was AI, which is artificial insemination, and we did it with a private donor. So there are sperm banks that you can go to, there are private donors that you can find, there are donors who could be your friends and family if that's your route where you guys can get donations from. That's completely your choice. We went through a private donor, so we got to meet with our donor face to face, have interviews, have conversations with. So we made sure that this was the person that we wanted to help with our donations. Overall, regardless of what route you decide to go, you're still going to need a donor. So that's literally, well, for same-sex females, right? You're going to need a donor, a male donor. And choosing is honestly, that was a hard part to do.
It was.
We spent
it's time consuming is what it is as well.
It's time consuming, but it's also who do we choose? You know, do we choose someone that's a family member? Do we choose a friend? Do we choose someone in our city? Where do we even find him?
How do we find this person?
Literally, that was tough because it was trying to talk to her who do you want? And then low-key why do you want him?
Yeah, and then it's well, who do you want? Well, what makes that person special?
Yeah, you think he's cute or what? You know, so that was that part where it was how and where and who do we pick for instantly we agreed upon we want someone that's super far, but overall that really didn't matter, you know, after talking to several different donors, that sincerely didn't matter. He could be local, and at least in now where we currently in our mental state and our knowledge that we got from everything and our experience, it doesn't matter. As long as, you know, he is on the same page with you, it's cool.
But we knew that we did not want a friend or a family member.
Yeah, we did know that. Secondly, we definitely knew that part because we are very big when it comes to family.
And we don't want your uncle, your cousin
to be the donor, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think overall we are I could be in my feelings and she could be in her feelings, and I mean we wouldn't want that, you know.
But not so much just that, it's that we just felt it would be uncomfortable for both parties, us, and if we knew the donor, family or friend wise, that it would be a little bit too close to home where it would be hard to detach your feelings from watching our child grow.
Yeah, it'd be overall hard, right? It's freaking hard. I mean, I don't want to see someone that's just too close on a family end, and then friends. We've had several friends that were willing to help us, and we're thankful for that for sure. And
it was a thought, like definitely, like it was a thought when it came to the front end, because it's like, oh, like, you know, like we don't see this person like every day, or you know, like they don't go to our family functions. But overall, I think like that's kind of like, to us, someone that's in your backyard type.
It was
you know,
just
situation.
too close in range for us to feel like comfortable and confident and like 100% secure emotionally, together wise, that
as
was
a couple,
that we wanted to pursue that route.
And this isn't to you know, throw shade to anyone that has already done that, because there are a lot of people that have family members that help out, or that have friends that help out, and all of it is okay.
We love that route for you guys. It just wasn't for us.
It wasn't for us. We're very emotional people. Like, we would definitely be, I would have been my feelings the whole time. Like, I was in my feelings the whole time. Well, not in a bad way, but the first time, and it wasn't in regards to like him. It was overall just, you'll hear later about.
We're just so emotional.
We are very emotional people. So I think like that the route that we decided was a good one, and that was a private route. So private donor.
Yes, so we went through a private donor. So finding a donor was the hardest part again. So we had been searching and trying to figure out where we could find a donor, because there are sperm banks, which great, yes, that's amazing and it works for so many people, but for us it just wasn't the route that we wanted. We didn't want to see just baby photos. We wanted to see this person, how they look now in age, what's their family bloodline, what's their family history, all of these things and in between, and we wanted to know the vibe of this person. So, and
additionally, like, sperm banks are super expensive, and sperm banks also provide all of that information, which we had did our research and we knew that they provided all of that information. But overall, I think the experience just wasn't for us, because we wanted to get pregnant like now. You know, so, and we got pregnant immediately. Like, we'll give the dates on when the first time we went to the second time we went, and it was legit the same freaking month. Yeah. But we wanted to get pregnant right away, and what we did understand, like, is like fresh sperm obviously is the best route.
That's how majority of people get
But it
pregnant.
does come like with risk though, you know, because it's like, you have to kind of like do all that research and put your trust into this person, like that he's a legitimate person. 1, 2, he all his medical report is correct, and everything what he's saying is true.
You need to get medical records, family history, his history. You need to make sure you ask for all of these due diligence, because you want to make sure that who the person is donating is also healthy, and you are going to be healthy, your baby's going to be healthy, and the start of your new family is going to be a healthy process.
Yeah, you are pretty much like the rep at a sperm bank. You know, you're that person to literally do all that questioning and verification.
Is like your middleman.
Yeah, like they provide that security, right? You know, like, so kudos to sperm banks, but they're just really overpriced. And if you know us, we are so impatient, and we just wanted to, like, I don't think we could have, like, I mean, I'm sure we could have. We went to the sperm bank route, and you know, we didn't get an okay until we didn't get a positive till like the 4th or 5th try. We would continue to keep trying, but like getting like the negative for the first time was already like, oh my god, like I don't even know if I can see another negative. You know,
and it wasn't just that. It was because when we did try to get pregnant, the sperm banks, with the information that we had gathered, my wife would not be able to be in the room when I got inseminated, which we totally get. COVID restrictions, right? Safety first and everything like that. But this is an emotional time. Again, we're emotional people. So we wanted this experience to be together, because
that was the topper.
Fair.
That was literally the topper. Like, once we called the sperm banks and we got in touch with like a few that we felt were ideal for us, they had confirmed like that, you know, I wouldn't be able to go inside of the room nor participate in the insemination part, which a lot of places actually, I guess, don't allow you to participate in the insemination part, just because it's more like a medical end, I guess. But that wasn't for us. Like, I
wanted to be inseminated by my wife. I wanted to say my wife got me pregnant.
Like,
you know, those little things.
We're intimate people too, so that was a must, you know, literally. So like Babe said, the hardest part of this whole entire process was choosing the person. Choosing him. Like, he got to look good, right?
Yeah, you have to have good features as well. Like, well, you don't have to, but like we were looking for somebody who had good features because we wanted to
make a cute ass baby.
Yeah, you know, like, and it's not in a mean way.
No, but overall, like we want to have features like of both of us, right? Because like if we want our baby to look like us, what the hell?
Yeah, like what kind of features can we find a donor that has features that my wife has? So when we have a baby, the baby has an opportunity to look like both of us.
Yes. So that was the hardest part. Actually, I think in process wise was the hardest part, but I think there was harder parts that were more like emotional, that like topped it. But process, again, back to process.
So donor. So I know a lot of people are like, where do you find a donor if you don't go to a sperm bank?
There's so many different places where you can find a donor. Just a good amount that we know of, because there's so many. There's
apps, there's groups, there's like in-person groups as well.
But even just like the regular resources, like talk to your family, talk to your friends, because that might be a route for you. Like it wasn't for us, but we did consider it. Like we did consider like maybe family, just because it, you know, like I'm sure my cousin would say yeah, and I'm sure one of her cousins would say yeah, but like overall, like no, it was a no, you know. But friends too, like friends are willing to help.
And of course sperm banks, right? Because we just chose private donors. Exactly. There are tons of places to find donors.
But like Babe said, we're gonna link them a good amount down below that are very successful.
Good resources for you guys to look at. Since we did a private donor, we were able to personally actually link up with this donor face to face, have interviews, have conversations, have them donate, and then they would skedaddle and me and my wife would proceed with insemination.
Like more detail wise on that part. For the first, we had actually different experiences from the first one to the second one. The first one, he was really well established. He was actually like
a highly recommended
donor, like through sperm banks. Where's I going with this? Oh, like, so the experience, he was, I mean, we're thankful for him that he tried to help us out, you know. But from the first one to the second one, totally different. Like
totally different experiences.
The first one, we didn't actually get to meet him prior through any kind of like FaceTime or Zoom. He wasn't like cool with that. So we actually only met him the day of. Like, so we only got to see pictures of him as a baby. We got to see like throwbacks of him when he like younger. So when we actually seen him and met him in person, it was a total shocker. But the experience again was different. He did like lace us up on a lot in regards to like sperm banks and why it's not always successful on that end, which is kind of kind of like the basics, right? Like, oh, you know, they freeze the sperm in sperm banks.
So it may not,
they wash it. They
survive the thawing process.
They split it as much as they can. Whereas obviously if you get a fresh donation, that's not happening. But there are again potential risks, right? Because you know, like, what if this guy's lying? You know. But overall, we did go with that route of fresh sperm. So first one, still fresh sperm. The second one, same thing. We want private routes. So that means that we had a financial agreement that we're going to pay him and he was going to donate to us as many times as we'd like. So we used both of them for
3 days.
Yeah, so 3 days back to back. Babe had, she was tracking her ovulation.
I was tracking my ovulation almost for like a year to a year and a half prior to us even starting. I was already doing that because yes, we've already talked in our relationship that we wanted to have babies, but it was something that I knew that you had to track to even get pregnant. So I was using a period tracker every month, and of course, you know, apps aren't always 100% accurate, but they do give you an estimate of when you can be ovulating. So I was doing that. I was also doing a basal temperature check every morning prior to getting out of bed. I would check my temperature because when you're ovulating, your temperature is higher.
You want water?
Yes, please. Your temperature is going to be higher during that time when you first wake up, so you know when you are ovulating. I would also do, I got this thing from Amazon, which I'll link all of this information that I'm saying, I'll link all these things down below. It was a Get Easy at Home ovulation kit where you could actually test your LH strips, your LH levels on a daily basis, so you could also check when you are ovulating. But the biggest one is checking your discharge. So I was always doing this for about a year and a half, which we were able to say when we want to start the insemination process when we were speaking with our donors. Like, we would like to do this month with these such and such days, because the research that we gathered, it was good to
inseminate the day before ovulating, the day of ovulation, and the day after ovulation, because that is when a woman's egg is prime and ready, is pretty much fertile, ready to be inseminated and ready to get pregnant.
So meaning egg drop, right? The egg
Yeah.
drops. So she had done the research. We did do the 3 days back to back. So the first day before, ovulation day, and the day after. She went off of the app the first time. She did use the app the second time, but she more so went with the last, was it like confirmation her body actually gave her. So
because again, apps could be wrong. Like our bodies do what they want to do or when they have to do it.
And it can, the dates can be off. And in the second time we did insemination, it was off. So she went with what she felt her body was telling her, and boom, we're pregnant. So yes, we did do the 3 days back to back. First donor, second donor. First donor, the experience overall, we didn't get to meet him via Zoom or FaceTime, which was kind of nerve-wracking because we really didn't, everything was through text messages. We were just literally like figuring out, like, we're pretty much like him sending everything that we're requesting and so forth, and him answering questions, him asking us questions. We actually never even talked on the phone the first time. Us as going into this for the first time, we really didn't know, like, it didn't come to mind FaceTime this dude. It came to mind like literally days before we caught a flight to where he lived. I was like, I hit him up and I was like, hey, like, can we FaceTime? Like, I don't even know like who we're gonna like see in a couple of days. And he had said no, in the simplest words, like no, you know. And I was like even trying to go around his schedule, and he had said no. So that definitely spiked anxiety. The second experience, so
he drove halfway to us, we drove halfway to him.
He made us feel comfortable.
It didn't feel like an inconvenience on anyone's part.
And, you know, it didn't feel like, damn, I'm at a fucking doctor's office. It literally felt like damn, like we went on a little vacation, and, you know, boom, we were just chilling, and we were just like loving each other and just creating a baby. Yeah. You know, but that was overall one. Gotta find a donor. Figure out
what type of process you want to do. AI, IUI, IVF. You got to figure out how you want to get pregnant.
Yeah, and a lot of people do go the routes of, you know, having the doctor there, you know, like, and that
they don't want to be the middleman, which is, yeah, we get it. It's a lot of information you got to ask.
And we're not advising that you go our route, just to be very clear. We went our route because it was for us. And but yes, figure out what route you want to go. Find the donor. Like, figure out, is it gonna be a friend, is it gonna be a family member, is it gonna be sperm bank, is it gonna be someone, you know, that you find privately, you know. So figure that out. Next, figure out, do your research, you know, like what am I supposed to ask? We asked hella questions, and all we did was Google them. Like we literally asked hella questions, and don't be ashamed of it. We recommend that if you do happen to go our route, see if you can like do some FaceTimes, and you guys can actually see if there's like, you know, a vibe, like just kind of like making things very comfortable. Because the last thing you want to happen is for you guys to go into this process and you guys are 10.
You cannot get pregnant without ovulation. You need to know your body. You need to know, like, just because you tracked your ovulation, you're ovulating this month or this many times, look at the symptoms that your body was giving you, that you are aware that you are ovulating. That way, when you come in the prayer month or the month that you are going to donate or you are going to inseminate, that you know what signals your body is giving you that you are going to be ovulating, because you need to be ovulating to get pregnant.
We'll actually drop down the app that she used to track her ovulation, and actually we'll drop down everything like that we use, like down to the syringes, is it pH strips?
LH strips.
LH? Mm-hmm. LH, and yeah, all the good stuff that we actually use to prepare and help us through it.
Because we even use soft disc. We didn't say that earlier, but we also use soft disc. So after, you know, we did the insemination, I never used a soft disc ever in my life. And if you guys know what that is, that's what you use versus like a pad or a tampon. So I had to have my wife put the soft disc in and take the soft disc out, because I had no idea how to do this.
Yeah, and also that part too, like everything is just an addition to actually help. you guys don't have to do it. I mean,
we just wanted to make sure whatever went in did not come out. So that soft disc was like you staying up in there.
So we'll drop everything down below. But again, communicate. Figure out the route you want to go. Find the donor. Figure out that route you want to go to with picking your actual donor, and start your process. You know, start looking up questions and make it happen. Like literally, like right when we got married, I was legit telling her, I was like, when we go home, I'm gonna get that ass pregnant. Like I want us to have our fucking baby. Are you gonna have my motherfucking babies?
And so we got married in December, so we have January, February, March, April. Within 4 months, she got me pregnant.
We got pregnant, and we did. I felt like it was so much to this process, and like you just gotta start it, you know, start it, figure it out, start asking, look. And I know it's overwhelming because like damn, like it was hella overwhelming.
There were days where I was like, I don't even want to watch these freaking informational videos.
I don't even want to contact this I don't even want to contact the sperm bank. I don't even want to ask these questions. But like, you know, what a good direction is to talk to your guys' doctors. Talk to your primary.
I literally went to my OBGYN and my primary, like, can I even get pregnant? Like, can you do whatever y'all need to do so I don't gotta look at my body like this?
They helped, you know, like, and recommending things. And again, we did a lot of the research on our own, but start asking questions. And if you're anything like us, like, once you start asking questions, it just happens to start popping up more.
Yeah.
Literally. So things just kind of kept falling into place, and 4 months and boom, babe was pregnant, thankfully.
And only had to try 2 times. So
I know,
again, like, we are super fortunate, and we're super blessed that our journey of getting pregnant wasn't as difficult as, you know, some may have experienced. But, you know, just keep trying. We're wishing baby dust on everybody. This is a beautiful beginning to a start of a new family for us and a start of a new journey.
And I mean, as you guys know, babe, stand up, she's about to freaking pop like in 3 weeks.
If that.
She's hella pregnant. Like pregnant.
Still in crop tops.
She's still in damn crop tops.
A white ass belly. Yeah, so I am about to be 37 weeks.
And she's so big. She's obviously girl. Her name's my honey. But that was our experience.
One thing too I want to tell you guys, so I just want to do a fast run through of the insemination of like a day of it. So like we could be like, okay, so donor came in, communicated for a quick second, went to the bathroom, did the deed, donated. They put it inside the donation cup, but we did the soft cup instead of the donation cup. After that, we got the syringe, put it inside the syringe. Person was already gone, right? Once the donation soft cup, they left. We got the syringe, sucked up the donation.
First of all, tore that ass up, and then
we put it in the donation cup, and then we did our deeds, got inseminated, and then laid with our legs up for 40 minutes. But before we did the 40 minutes, put the soft disc in me to make sure nothing spilled out of me. Left up for 40 minutes, and then did it all over again the next day, and then did it all over again the next day. So 3 days in a row. So that is just a real fast forward rewind of how we did it, and everything that we used we will list down below. Different resources we will list below for you guys to find donors. And then if you are also not in our area of the Bay Area, that's totally fine. These things are not limited to Bay Area resources.
For real.
This is like, I don't want to say global, but like it's just like a wide variety of
you got internet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'll be in good hands. But that was our experience. It's everything. Like that was, to be honest, regardless of how many experiences that we actually had in 2022, that was our 2022, getting pregnant.
When we did this, we didn't tell not one soul.
So that was really stressful too, because it was like we didn't talk to anyone because we didn't want so much pressure. We didn't want everyone's opinions.
And not just that, but like, look at what happened. Like, we didn't get pregnant the first time, right?
I know, so and then there's that too, where
we
it's
didn't want to be like,
people calling us on the 14th day, like, oh my god, you guys get pregnant,
and
you know?
Like, no, like I had to relive the fact that like I got a negative test.
Yeah, when we all gotta talk about it, yeah. You know, so like no one knew that we were pregnant until our 3rd month. Actually, I'm sorry, no. No, because like when we actually tested, we told my family, because my family had flew in from out of state.
Yeah, but like we didn't like tell people. We told our immediate loved ones that we were pregnant, like almost when we were like a month. But I think there was a total of like 5 people in general. And then when we were almost 4 months is when we started to tell people we were pregnant. And then I think the announcement was like 4.5 months. So people didn't know we were pregnant for a really long time.
And it's also because like a lot of a lot of people say like that sometimes people miscarry within the first 3 months.
Your first trimester.
So that was also like a fear, but once we got past that, we're like, oh my god, we're past the 3, you know.
Yeah, because my first trimester and mid second trimester was super intense.
Yeah, it was because she but that could be like for a whole nother video. But yeah, that was insemination 1 and 2. It was a whole ass experience, and anyone that is trying, that's either same sex or even actually straight couples, anyone that's trying in general, these are different routes that you can take to get pregnant. We did artificial insemination. There are a lot of, again, people use different routes. People use IVF, and that could be a straight couple too.
Yep.
You know,
this
so
is not just
like it's not just like, oh, you're gay, you gotta do this route, you know. But a lot of people do it, so these are just different ways. We chose this way because it was
when
for
people
us.
have fertility issues or things like that.
Yeah, and we don't know too much about that part, but like, yes, everyone uses different routes to get pregnant. This was ours. We do plan on going another route down the line, but that's for
we'll take you along that journey.
That's for another time, definitely. But we're just gonna enjoy this moment for right now. It is January 1st, 2023, and my honey, you about to come and treat us well for this year and for the rest of our lives. So that was our insemination experience. Thank you guys.
And if you guys have any more questions, don't be shy.
Drop them down below.
We will answer them. We are trying to engage with you guys just as much as we possibly can. We are here back on YouTube. We're coming back strong with so much content. So stay tuned. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this video because there will be plenty more.
Yes, and follow us on Instagram if you guys aren't already, and our TikTok, and everything, of course, is the Liz.
All right, you guys, so stay tuned.
Thank you guys.